Hi everyone! How are you?
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, no, for real. Hi. Today I want to do a kind of like video about like xlov new comeback. I film me unboxing the album that I got. I also have filmed the unboxing for the Amebi in this, and at the end I'm gonna like talk about like my analysis and interpretation of a bit of the song, one and only, and the music video. So I hope you enjoy, and let's get started. Okay, so I also ordered a copy of Amelie because I didn't have one. So let's start with this. Oh. Look hard. Okay, can you wait for that? Oh, so cute. I don't know what I'm doing. Got one of Ruby, one of cute. The CD. Nice. An eye. Ooh. Nice. Those for a card, I believe they were the pre-order for mine. I'm not sure. It's so cute. Oh my god. I don't know if I'm in the frame. Which version do we start with? I think I'm good with this one. Okay, wait. Okay. Wait a minute. Wait. Okay, we got this. Okay. Mm. Oh, this is cool. Nice. Mm. I like this one. Okay. I love this outfit. And this. Okay. I still don't know how I'm supposed to get the thing behind the CD. Wait. Oh, okay, I see. I see. Ah, okay. Like, no, no. Oh, wait. Ah, the lyrics, nice. I so good. Okay. Two motif for a card. And those are interesting. Oh, so there. Second one with Haru's face on it. Okay, so ooh, I love a CD. It looks nice. Ah, okay. Nice. Ah. Ooh, nice. Oh, the wings burning. It looks so nice. Okay. Let's put that back in carefully. Not breaking anything. Thank you. Now we know how to open this part. Oh. Ooh. Oh. Look at that. Look at one Hyun and one Haru. Me act like I know what I'm doing. Are those their? I mean, of course they are. Their lips. Okay. Last one. The special pack for ione. Ooh. Okay. Muti. Pen. Muti lip. Ooh. Which they their faces on. Nice. Hey. Who's that? Keychain? That's cool. Special. Yes. Oh wait, that's fun. That's cute. Okay. Like. Oh. Oh. Oh, it's a bit. That's okay. Wait, okay. Wait, there's too much. Like, translucent. Like, Rui. Photo card. And that. Wait, that's supposed to be this way. Like, those, like, little drawings. Are you supposed to, like, put, like, a photo card underneath? Oh, that. What's that? We're looking after. Oh, cute. But like, what was it going to say? Like, are you supposed to like put like a photo card underneath? It's like a little frame. That's cute. What is this? Am I supposed to scratch that? Oh, I think I am. Wait. Okay, so it's a little message. Oh, little message. Oh, really? That's so cute. Okay, well, let's move on. Okay. Oh, it is. Oh, wait, that's cool. So, like, picture with like hidden messages in the back. So, it's Muti. You have Rui. Ah! I almost know what I'm doing. You have Hyun. He's so cute. Oh my god. And Haru. Look at what's on the back. 네. 오케이, 하루. 오늘 하수의 비즈니스 xlov. Okay. You have Sean. I want evil. I am Sean. So okay. It's funny. Don't fall, please. Oh, wait. One of parentheses are I love you. Oh, that's cute. You love that. Cute. And oh, what about Umuti? Ooh, one mu and only you have Umuti written in the middle. That's so funny. Okay. Can I pick this up, please? Please, Neil. Stickers. One of love, ione, their name, one only business, and the logo. Nice. I love this. That's so fun. It's like puzzle. Oh, they're magnets. Oh, that's cool. Good. On the Rui and Muti. One with Hyonaru and like one of each member. It's so thick. Okay. Oh, that's a folded poster. Oh, nice. I like it. Let me put. I love those glasses with like the charms on the side. They're like really cute. Oh. Oh, okay. So I think we're gonna have one with Sean and Aru together as well. It's so good. Oh. Damn, those are long nails. Oh, they look so cute. I can't myself. Okay. Come on. I'm sorry. Okay. All four of them together. Well, okay, so now let's start with the lyrics analysis of the song. I have notes here for both the analysis of the lyrics and the music video, which is like um 3 pages, like on both sides. Anyway, so let's get started with the lyrics. So I'm gonna start with saying that like I love this song so much, and like not only I love like One and Only, but I love like the other 2 songs as well. My favorite personally is Business. It's really kind of my type of song, but I still really love One and Only and One of Love. So like, yep, that was really good. For the analysis about the song itself, I don't have a lot to say. But we're gonna talk about a few things, starting with the Spanish line in the song, which I know there has been a bit of like debate on like how to interpret it, which I think like is really interesting.
Okay, before we move on, we now have some kind of confirmation from Umuti about this part of the lyric. So, a fan asked him about like the 2 different kind of interpretation, and apparently he answered that like the straight interpretation is wrong. So, it's kind of funny and like yeah, Mr. Umuti don't want to like tell you what it means. Like everything is up to interpretation except the straight interpretation. No, that's wrong. That's quite funny, but like also like really him. So like yeah, I just wanted to add this before we move on. I'm still gonna put uh like both interpretation in the video. So yeah, let's move on with the video.
So the lines are Mona Lisa, Lisa, call me Papichulo, Mamacita, mixing you up like I'm serving margaritas. Some people think that like when he says that, he's talking to someone which he refers to as Mamacita and telling them to call him Papichulo. And there are some people that think he's saying to call him both Papichulo and Mamacita. And I think this is really, really interesting. Yeah, at first I didn't really know which I think was like more likely to be like the like not correct interpretation, but like the one that was like intended. Like I could easily see it being like both ways, but that's because I was only like taking the line like by itself, and I was not considering like the whole like part as a whole. But while I was listening for the song for probably the 300th time, and like the line that comes after like kind of hit me for some reason. I don't know why. After like 300 times is when it hit me, but like it did. Okay, so here's what I think. I think he's telling people to call him both Papichulo and Mamacita. And the reason I think that is because of like the next line, which is mixing you up like I'm serving margaritas, which I think is a really interesting line if you think about it a bit more metaphorically. To me, this is saying he knows he's attractive and that like people will find him attractive whether they see him more one way or the other or like a mix of both, and that this will mix you up, or in other terms, it will confuse you. And if you want to push this a little bit further with the term used in the line mixing you up like I'm serving margaritas, and I know this might be pushing it a little bit or not. Honestly, I don't know what people will think or whatever, but anyway. So, like, the term serving is often used to, like, describe someone that's, like, good looking or, like, doing something that's kind of iconic. So, like, to me, this metaphor is, like, driven even more home, like, with the way the line is constructed and, like, the word choice. Like, I don't know if I'm explaining what I'm like thinking well, but it makes sense in my brain, so anyway. Okay, there's another part of the song that I think is quite interesting in what like it says, and it's during Haru's little dance break. The part that I find interesting about it is like the "come on baby, let's get started because I know what you like," and like it could like refer to like basically anything, but I do find it quite interesting in the context of like the song and the concept. Like it could simply mean that like they know what the person they're referring to as being like their one and only likes, generally speaking. Like sure, totally, but in some way I feel like it could mean more and kind of refer and acknowledge some kind of queerness. Maybe? I don't know. Like, that's how I felt when I heard like those lines. But I don't know.
Okay, I can't believe that I didn't explain further what I meant by that. But the lyrics saying, "Come on, baby, let's get started because I know what you like," to me sound like they're saying, I know who you are, and the what you like refers to the people you like, and that it's there to kind of reassure the person the song is addressed to in some way. It's kind of saying, I already know what you like, and it's okay. Like, let's just party or something like that. And I think that it makes sense to interpret things in this way, like with queerness in mind, in the context of like the group itself, the song, like in general, and the music video, and the imagery that is within the video. And we are gonna dive into this in a few minutes. So, anyway, let's continue.
The next and last thing I'm gonna say about the lyrics of the song is like just funny and silly. Like it's not serious at all. And like I know I'm not the only one that like found this funny because I saw like comments from other evil online, but I'm gonna say it anyway. The line "no lies, I'm gonna give it to you straight" did make me laugh like out loud for at least the first 20 times I heard that song. Like, and I'm really glad I'm not the only one that found it funny. So like I literally saw TikToks that were like, what are you giving to me straight? Like there's nothing straight about this. And like it made me laugh so hard. So yeah, this is just a silly comment. I have nothing insightful to say about this. So let's move on to the music video. So I have a lot more to say about the music video than like the lyrics and like the song and all. But like there's part that like are incomplete ideas. Like I know some imagery and things like definitely have a significance and like something's trying to tell us, but I kind of don't know what really. So I'm gonna point those out and like I'm gonna tell you like maybe some like ideas of what it could be. But honestly, if you have your own theories and ideas about those or any of the things like you've noticed in the music video, or whatever, I would really love to read them. So if you could leave a comment and tell me about them, I would love to read them. Of course, we have to start with the little poster that shows up quite early on in the music video and shows up again a little bit later with like the 4 roses and the text that says, "Sick of the same old crap? It's your choice. Leave them behind, get your freedom back." It's really interesting to think about like what it can be referring to when it says the same old crap. It could refer to a lot of things, but I'm going to see it through the lens of like gender representation, and like queerness more in general, because this is kind of the starting point of like everything else I'm going to be saying about the music video later on. And also I think it kind of made sense in like with the concept and like in general everything about this, so there's that. So going on with this idea, same old crap could refer to like gender roles and being put into a box because of your gender. And if we go a little further, it can also refer to like who you're supposed to be attracted to. And then this posters is like saying to like leave all those ideas behind and to like get your freedom back from those expectations. The next thing that I think is interesting to talk about is that at the beginning they all dressed in like bright white. Haru even has like little wings on his shoulder, like angel wings. They are like quite high up in the sky, like being playing on like a rooftop. You can see like the bright sky in the back, and like everything is like really bright white and like all that, and the sun is shining. It really gives like nice pure and angelic vibe. And that's all I'm gonna say on that for now, but we're gonna come back to this later in the video, and I'm gonna like wrap up that thought with like something else I will talk about that happens later in the music video. So next thing, yeah, the scene where Hyun is like eating a lollipop with like mini figurines on it, that was interesting. That like he's just eating a lollipop with like a bunch of like people on it, and like they mostly seems to be men. Like I can see maybe one woman if we want to go off of like hair length and like clothing, because like there's one figurine that has like long hair and like a skirt, but at the same time it feels kind of hard to do so in the context of like xlov being xlov and like their concept, but like at the same time for the sake of like imagery and analysis I guess I'm gonna do it anyway. But yeah, just like eating a lollipop with a bunch of men and like maybe one woman. If you want to go like a little more like into the analysis part of this. So I think the lollipop being heart-shaped is interesting because it can kind of represent like love, and like the people on it could like represent like the type of people they can fall in love with or something like that, which I think is interesting. And then there's like one figurine that like falls off the lollipop and then falls into a Venus flytrap. The figurine that falls off the lollipop and into the Venus flytrap is a man, which is interesting because it could mean either that like this person is still trapped in the same old crap, which is why they couldn't stay on the lollipop and like accept like their love for the member, or it could mean the opposite, of which like it means they took a step to get out, and that's like why they ended up there.
Okay, editing me again, coming to explain the reasoning behind my analysis, because for some reason I didn't do it when recording. So, for the first interpretation, in which the little figurine falling could mean that they are still stuck in the same old crap, could be explained by them going away from the love that would be represented by the heart-shaped lollipop and get stuck in the Venus flytrap. And like those plants attract their prey with like sweet stuff, which this could represent the comfort of the norm and fitting into those norms, but in the end being trapped in there like by the Venus flytrap or like the norms, it hurts you more than it helps you like in the end. For the other interpretation in which like they would get away from this and acknowledge their love, I think it could be that because later in the video we can see that Hyun has like some spikes on his finger that could refer to the Venus flytrap. So like the figurine by falling into the plant could represent that they're going towards him instead of getting away and like accepting their love and all that. So yeah, let's continue.
Of course, then there's the moment where like Hyun lets go of the dove, which generally dove do represent like freedom, so it does make sense in the context of the video of like letting go that bird that is now free. So okay, this one I is one of those where like I don't really know what it like means, but I have like two ideas maybe, and I would be really interested to know like what you think. So this is about the scene where Haru is listening to music and like his ears is bleeding, and like it's really interesting and like it for sure means something. So I'm gonna give you my two ideas like or hypothesis that I have, like, so let me know what you think. So the first thing I was thinking about is like, what could he be listening to? Like, is it something that's like bad or harmful, which is why his ears are bleeding? So if we stay in this context and the themes that like I've talked about like previously, so is he listening to like society that's telling us that we need to be a certain way, act a certain way or whatever, because of like the arbitrary rules that we made up, like and like since that's like kind of our and since that's kind of harmful to us, like it's like making him bleed from his hair. That's the first idea. My second idea is kind of the opposite. I'm thinking like, is he trying like in all the ways that he can to block out like society and all those ideas out? So like he's listening to something else like perhaps so loudly and like just constantly trying to block it those ideas out that like it's making him bleed, that it's making him bleed like out of his hair. I think both perspectives could be interesting, and like I'm sure there's a lot of other like interpretation we can come that can come out of like this, but I can't think myself of any other. But if you have any, I would absolutely love to read them. So if you want to, I would love for you to leave a comment telling me about it, and I would love to read it. Next, there's the part where Hyun is like there with like a little thorn on his finger, and I've seen some people like think that those are rose thorn, like the one on like the poster, or like the one that's burning at some point. And like they thought that like that would represent like the duality of like the beauty, fragility and roughness of roses, which I think is interesting. But I've also seen other people say that it's a reference to the Venus trap we see earlier, especially since like both with the Venus trap scene and this one it's related to Hyun, so that would also make sense. So it feels like in the scene, if we go by like this being like related to the Venus trap, like Hyun is being the trap in which like the little figurine or like people fall into. So it could like represent people being enticed by them and like perhaps discovering something about themselves that they didn't know about before, and like from which they cannot go back from, and now they're like trap, because like yeah, they discovered something about themselves that maybe they didn't want to or whatever, but like now they know about it and they can't like back off of this discovery. Okay, let's talk about like the mannequin people in the subway. They all look pretty similar and they're all like facing away from the camera. Most of them are like back to the camera, but like especially when the camera is like sideways, we see some of them from the side, but like none of them is like facing us, which can mean that like they represent like the average person that like conforms to the societal norms and expectation that's put on them, which I think is interesting because right after they appear with arrows on them, which to me can represent the fact that like those expectations and norms are harmful to them, they hurt them, while we can see like all the xlov member like sitting in the back, like just being themselves and like just being there like unharmed.
Okay, it's editing me again, but this time it's because I just thought of something to add. Because just after this, we see Umuti with arrows on his neck, but there are more like little charms that are put on his neck and they aren't piercing into his neck. Which, if we go off of the idea that the arrows represent societal norms, this could mean that those are still present in the member's life, but they are small and they aren't hurting them because they take only the ones they want and they don't accord them too much importance.
Okay, so now we're gonna talk about the scene where Louis almost kissed that male statue. Yep. Because that was insane. That was insane. Honestly, I don't have much more to say about this except that we do support Rui's kissing agenda in this household. Actually, like the thing, I've seen like some people talking about like who the statue is, but I can't find it anymore. And I couldn't for the life of me find out like who the statue is, because clearly there was something there and like it would have been interesting and I would have had more to say if I could find it again. Low-key crying. Anyway, if you like know about this or like you have the post that was talking about it, I would love for you to like put it in a comment, please. The scene with the chest piece with like blood that's being poured on them, this is clearly a reference to like Amebi, in which the members were represented by 4 queens on the chessboard. So like it can represent like their old selves from this era that like died and now like they're more free to be themselves. Also, while we're on like the reference to Amebi, them dancing in the burning town is also a reference to Amebi, like with the line that says 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 the town and burned it. I don't know why I sang it, but yeah. So while we're on the subject of like the town that's burning and all that, I'm gonna come back to what I said earlier at the beginning with like them being all dressed in white and all that. That's where the link is gonna come from. So I'm gonna talk how like the lighting and the environment change throughout the music video, like from the beginning and the end, because I think it's really interesting. So like I said earlier, at the beginning they're all dressed in white, it's all bright, they're high up in the sky, like it's giving really angelic, like heavenly like vibe. So while at the end they're like pretty much on the ground, it's very dark, there's fire everywhere like burning and all that, and to me this like feels very like hell like. And I think this is really interesting because like at the beginning you have those like angel like people that are like so like pure and like perfect or whatever, and but like for some reason they're like not happy, they're sick of the same old crap and like they need to get out of there. So like they do and they decide to get their freedom back and like being themselves, but that lead them to like hell. maybe. So potentially considering the concept of the group and like the queerness they're exhibiting and like our and and like how queer people are often tell that like they're going to hell for being queer and all that, like this idea makes sense to me. And like there's also the fact that like they seem happy, like just dancing around, like just being themselves in the middle of like the town burning and all that, and they just seem like happier, like just existing. And that makes me think of like when like some queer people are told they're going to hell and they're like saying, oh yeah, and what, so what, like it's just gonna be a big like queer party or whatever, and like they're just kind of embracing like the fact that like, okay, yeah, you're telling me I'm going to hell, so what, like I don't care. And it's like they're saying that like they prefer like to be themselves and be free and be happier, like even if that means they're gonna end up, even if it means that they're gonna end up in hell, like they prefer that than like possibly going to heaven, but like being like unhappy, miserable, and like not being themselves. If I'm being completely honest, when I first thought of like that interpretation, I was wondering if like maybe I was like going too far and like putting intention or like something that like wasn't meant to be there. But that changed when I saw the performance and Instagram picture in which Louis was wearing a shirt that says, "You can't enter heaven unless Jesus enters you." Like I still can't get over that shirt, honestly. Like oh my god, like iconic. Anyway, so I was like, okay, no, they would go there. So moving on, there's something about them dancing in a fire heart. Like, does it refer to like perhaps burning passion, or is it about like, if we go with what we just talked about, like something that is like forbidden love or whatever? And lastly, there's the scene where Umuti is sitting with like the like angel wings that are made out of white gloves, which I did not notice the like, I don't know how many time I watched it. I had to like watch a video where someone pointed it out to be like, wait, actually you're right. They're made out of white glove. Anyway, it's interesting because like white glove, like an expression, like putting on white glove and all, is like about like delicateness, pureness, and things like that. And add to the fact that like it's like angel wings that are like made out of them, which kind of like double down on like that kind of meaning of like pureness and like delicateness and things like that. And yeah, the fact that they're like burning at the end could like mean that they're stepping away from like all of those things associated with that. And that's kind of all I have to say about like the song and the music video. So I would love to know what you think about it. Like, do you agree or not? Do you have other interpretation? If so, like I said like many times, I would love if you would write them in the comment. I really want to read like more interpretation of all of this. So thank you all for watching, and bye.